Let me guess, you're busy. Between work, family, and everything else on your plate, the idea of losing 20 pounds of body fat feels impossible. And let's be honest, it's not like you're sitting around with hours to meal prep or spend hours in the gym. But what if I told you that dropping 20 pounds of fat doesn't require hours in the gym or starving yourself or sacrificing your precious family or social life? Today, I'm breaking down the 4-step system to help busy men just like you drop 20 pounds of fat without sacrificing your career, your family time, or your sanity. This isn't theory, it's a proven system I've used with hundreds of clients. I'm Lewis, I've been a fitness coach for 10 years, working with over 1,000 clients to help them drop up to 20 pounds of fat and get in the best shape of their life without sacrificing the daily schedule or spending hours in the gym. Stick around to the end and I'll share a completely free quiz to help you figure out exactly what's holding you back and see if you're actually capable of dropping that body fat and getting into the best shape of your life. Before we dive in, I want to introduce you to James. James, one of my clients, was a business consultant working over 60 hours a week, traveling constantly and juggling the demands of a growing family. When James came to me, he was frustrated. He gained 20 pounds over the past couple of years, and no matter how many diets he tried, nothing seemed to stick. He thought the only way to lose weight was to spend hours in the gym and follow some extreme diet and follow routines he's found online on YouTube, which quite frankly didn't fit around his life. But let me tell you, that's not the solution, especially when you're as busy as James. But fast forward 12 weeks, and James dropped just under 20 pounds of fat while working out just 3 times a week and eating in a way that fit his crazy schedule, worked with his family, but more importantly, he felt great doing it. Well, how did he do it, may you ask? Well, by following the 4-step system I'm about to share with you now. Step 1, the Metabolic Activation Protocol. If you think losing fat requires daily workouts, think again. You do not need to train 6 or 7 days a week to see results. Trust me. In fact, doing less can actually help you get better results while you focus on the right exercises. But you need to make sure you've got the correct structure which fits around your life. So what's the plan? Aim for 3 30-minute full body strength sessions per week, focusing on compound movements like squats, deadlifts, presses, rows, which are supersetted. These exercises target multiple muscle groups and burn more calories in less time, quite frankly. The supersets are the most important part. You will save time, which is much more efficient, especially if you're someone who is really busy. For example, pairing squats with some type of chest press or deadlifts with dumbbell rows, supersetting opposing muscle groups. James, my client, was following a typical bro split, which means training chest on Mondays, back on Tuesdays, legs on Wednesdays, and so on, which wasn't really getting him anywhere. He didn't really enjoy the workouts, and he felt it wasn't really getting him to his goal. He spent hours in the gym, which meant he was less motivated to go and was taking time away from his work and his family. So we switched him to 3 full body sessions that focus on compound movements and supersets. By training smarter, not harder, James started building muscle, but more importantly, started burning fat simultaneously. Why does this work? Well, strength training builds muscle, of course, and muscle is metabolically active, meaning it burns more calories even at rest if you have more muscle on your frame. So while cardio might burn calories during your session, strength training means you build more muscle, which helps you burn more calories, and more importantly, just makes you look great. I mean, who doesn't want that? Step 2, nutrition, the adaptive fueling system. Here's the truth. You don't need to follow a restrictive diet to lose 20 pounds of fat. In fact, the more extreme the diet, the more likely you are to give up. The key is to finding a way of eating that fits your life while keeping you in a calorie deficit. Ideally, you want to track your calories for the first 1 to 2 weeks to gather data. This is imperative, this part. Don't worry, you do not need to do it forever. This will help you understand your current eating habits and identify where you can make improvements. 80% of your meals should come from whole, nutrient-dense foods like, as we've heard, the lean proteins, whole grains, veggies, etc. But the other 20% can be much more flexible, allowing you to enjoy your favorite foods guilt-free, whether it's at work, with the family, eating out. You can do it as long as you stay consistent. Instead of cutting out entire food groups, focus on controlling portion sizes to stay within your calorie goals. James, my client, used to skip breakfast, grab fast food for lunch, and then overeat at dinner because he didn't have a plan. He felt that he had to be all or nothing. We started by tracking his intake for a week to gather the data to identify the problem areas. And then from there, once we gathered the data, we built a plan that allowed him to enjoy business lunches, family dinners, going out with friends without going overboard. By focusing on high protein meals and smart portion sizes, James stayed full and energized while still losing fat. The reason this works is because, as we all know, fat loss is 80% nutrition. If you're not in a deficit of calories, you're not losing fat. It's as simple simple as that. Tracking your intake for a couple of weeks will give you clarity and set you up for long-term success. Step 3, recovery, the circadian optimization method. Here's what most people overlook. Recovery is just as important as training and nutrition. If you're not prioritizing sleep and stress management, your fat loss efforts will stall, no matter how hard you train or how clean you eat. You've heard it before, I'm sure. Prioritizing sleep means aiming for 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep each night. But what I recommend to all of my clients is follow a pre-sleep routine. Have that structure in place, just like you do with training and nutrition. 3 hours before bed, finish your last meal. Let your body digest the food. 2 hours before bed, stop drinking liquids. 90 minutes before bed, turn off all screens, whether that's being on your phone, checking emails, doing work. 1 hour before bed, read a fictional book or do some light stretching, something to wind down from the day. Then we've also got active recovery. On non-training days, go for walks, hit 8 to 12k steps. Do some light yoga to stay active without overloading your body and adding more stress onto it. James, my client, was surviving on 5 to 6 hours of sleep a night, constantly feeling tired and stressed. Once we actually implemented this circadian optimization method to improve his sleep quality, within a few weeks, his energy levels were through the roof. Better sleep meant better recovery, and better recovery means better workout, and ultimately easier and faster fat loss. The reason this works is because sleep impacts everything from hormone regulation to muscle recovery and hunger levels. When you're well rested, you're more likely to stick to your plan and see results. I know what you're thinking. Yes, I know I need to get 7 to 8 hours of sleep per night, but I still struggle to do it. Well, once you actually have a structure and a plan in place, trust me, it's much easier. Step 4, longevity, the sustainable performance protocol. The biggest mistakes I see men make when trying to lose fat is focusing on only short-term results. If you actually want to drop 20 pounds of fat and keep it off, you need to create habits that are sustainable for the long haul. You want to build a routine, so schedule your workouts like meetings and plan your meals ahead of time. Allow room for flexibility as well. Life happens, as we know, and that's okay. The key is consistency, not perfection. Track your weight, take progress photos, and monitor how you feel. Adjust as needed. Always iterate if something isn't working. After losing 20 pounds of fat, James's biggest fear was gaining it back. We focused on embedding his new habits into his daily routine, which actually fit into his life seamlessly. For example, he continued meal prepping on Sundays and booked out 40 minutes 3 times a week for his workouts. By keeping things simple and sustainable, James maintained his progress without feeling like he was on a never-ending diet and without affecting his schedule. The reason this works are because fad diets and extreme workouts might give you quick results, but they're not sustainable. By building habits that fit your life, you'll not only lose the fat, but also keep it off for good. This is the 4-step system to drop 20 pounds of fat, even with a busy schedule. Step 1 was training, short, efficient sessions with a focus on compound movements. Nutrition, track your intake, follow the 80-20 rule, and focus on flexibility over restriction. Number 3 was recovery, prioritizing sleep and active recovery to stay energized and consistent. Step 4 was longevity, building sustainable habits that fit into your life for long-term success. This is the exact system James followed, and it worked wonders for him, and it can work for you too. But if you're ready to actually plug and play this into your life, take the next step. And if you want a personalized plan that fits your life, click the link below to take my completely free body health and performance quiz. It'll help you uncover exactly what's holding you back and give you a clear plan to hit your goals and see if you're actually capable of losing that 20 pounds of fat. And before you go, this video somewhere over here will absolutely help you move in the right direction. It's packed with more tips to help busy men just like you get lean and strong without sacrificing your time or energy.